Kia ora, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Amy, the colorist here at Amy Ward Art, and I am back with Whatcha Working on Wednesday, where we go through all the different bits and pieces that I am working on at the moment and just show you and talk about how my week's been, basically, and just a weekly catch up. It's also where I ask the most important question: what you working on? So I would love to hear from you down below to know what is on your table at the moment. What are you working on in terms of colouring or other things? But yeah, just let me know down below what you're working on. As you can see by the pile, we've got quite a bit this week, and I think that reflects the chaotic nature of this week. It's been a lot. I don't even have room on my desk for all of this right now, so we're gonna make do. So the first thing that I have is a Lesky Biscoff's Monster Party. And I've done a little bit more work on an existing whip in here. So I've just started colouring in some of the monsters. I'm just using water-based markers. I have a lot of fun with this one. This one actually got drawn for another Little Touch of Colour Counts episode, so it was already in progress. Background was already done, so I just did a little bit more work on it. And yeah, I'm loving how it's progressing. I just need to get in here and do some more. But it's a really fun one. It's really cute. This is a Pictura, so it's like one continual image the whole way across. So it reminds me a lot of our real monsters. It's very, very cool. So yeah, I'm just focusing on the first two panels right now. So that is the Lesky Biscoff's Monster Party. And then this one I randomly started one night. I just wasn't feeling well and I curled into bed, and for some reason I decided to start just on the title page, and you can see how little I did before I basically passed out. But that's fine. That was just what I wanted to do. Apparently it was colour a pumpkin. I started a mushroom, I started the book, and then was like, nah, I'm done. And this is just done in not polychromos, Crayola pencils, because I just took the pack with me to bed and was just colouring with those. So yeah, I don't know when I'll get back into here. This was just kind of impromptu, but you know, it happens, and it's cute. And it's Witches by Yusuke, which I need to show some more love to. And then I had one night where I could not sleep, and I got up at like 3 a.m. and I ended up doing a whole bunch of colouring with alcohol markers, basically, including basing a page at Gnomes at Home. This is by Teresa Goodridge. It's a massive book full of lots of gorgeous gnomes doing lots of different things, and I chose the page where the gnome is colouring because I just thought that was a really fun page. So I've based everything with alcohol marker. I've still got to go in with pencils to shade. I also want to colour this in with pencils as well, like she's actually coloured in the page. But the only thing we're doing this at 3 a.m. is I might have put my backing sheet on the wrong page. So yeah, one day that's going to be fun to deal with, but that's not today's problem. But yeah, I just wanted to keep it warm and bright and colourful, and I like how it's progressing so far. So yeah, just need to get in here and start shading at some point, but I haven't made my way back there. It was just fun to base that one. And then another one that I based was in Adorable Girls by Rada Prince. And I have started working some of the shading back into here. But I just based this one here. So again, just put down alcohol markers. I've used a mixture of Pablo coloured pencils and Crayola coloured pencils to do all the hair and shade in the hair. And that's as far as I've gotten. So I've still got to come in here and finish shading the rest of it. But yeah, she's cute. This whole book is very cute. Oh, and I've pulled a little bit of like a metallic marker for the jewelry as well. But I might put some glitter on that. But yeah, very cute book. And then I had a impromptu live stream where we ended up working in Wildflower Folk because that was the mood. And I started on this baby dragon page. The dragon is inspired by Charmander colours. I like it. I think it's really cute. I'm really happy with it so far. This is all, again, just alcohol markers, Ohuhu alcohol markers. And I now need to go in with my pencils and just define the shading a bit more, add in a bit of detail. I want to bring in like a little bit of gold for the pattern on this ribbon, and also for around here to bring in some metallic gold. And yeah, I just want to deepen a few things up, shade a few things with a little bit of pencil, and this one will be done. So this one won't take too long to finish. So that's Wildflower Folk by Christine Karen. I made a little bit of progress on the Dragons of the Realms whip. Very minimal progress. Whoops, me slamming my book down. And this one's very hard to show without pencil shine. But basically, I have done the hair. And the hair, let me tell you, that was a challenge to try and make it look like it is white hair, but also it is going into the darkness, and not make it look like it's money pieces. So I'm pretty pleased with it, especially considering the odd light sources and all that. So I think I've managed to pull it off. I may go back and refine it some more as I finish more of the page. I've also added the little glowing dragon's eyes, as you can see. I did it with pink, but I'm actually thinking maybe I'll do it with yellow. Might go over it with a little yellow. I'm not sure yet, but they can be scratched off and recolored in, so I'm not worried about that. But I do like the little glow of the eyes in the dark. So yeah, that is her hair now done. So I've just got the rest of her top down here, and then she's done, and then I can start working on this front section, which that's going to be fun. So slowly picking away at Dragons of the Realms, an official D&D colouring book. And then we have Millie Marotta. It's still an obsession. So I decided to do some more experiments with what I call bubble backgrounds. I have a page that I did, and I loved the background of it, but it bled crazily through the book, and it turned out beautiful, but I was like, I think I can do this in a better way. So I did some experiments, and it did not work, let me tell you. So I changed a couple of things up. First off, I did protect down the side of the book here. I put washi tape down. I wrapped the whole thing in Glad wrap or plastic wrap. I like protected as much of the book as I could, but it still seeped because these are so bound. It still seeped through the strings and bled everywhere. In fact, this one bled from this page almost at the back of the book all the way to the front of the book and all the way here. So it was a lot of drying, a lot of cleanup, and unfortunately it has bled quite badly. Not badly, but there is like staining and water residue. It's water damage throughout the whole book, basically. But the thing is, I can work with this. Like, I can paint over this background. I'm not worried about it. And at this stage, this book already had so much bleed through and damage. It's like, I might as well keep experimenting in it, right? And then the other thing I did was I had read that if you add salt to the bubble mixture, it stabilizes the bubbles a bit better. And therefore, in theory, you would get better bubble patterns. I also this time used watercolor instead of my acrylic inks. And the watercolor, I don't think it was pigmented enough. I think the acrylic inks still work better for actually staining the page. The salt resulted in a weird texture on top, so I dissolved the salt. I basically used the dishwashing liquid, salt, and hot water. So I dissolved the salt into hot water, then added the dishwashing liquid and created the bubbles. But it created a weird film on the surface. So that one wasn't a success either. So I'm still happy I tried it. But what I've learned is, that doesn't work. I need to stick with the original acrylic inks and just the original bubbles, but I need to find a better way to stop it bleeding through the strings. So the next thing that I want to do in my experimentation of it is choose like a double page, but try and maybe use Mod Podge or masking fluid, nail varnish, something like that to actually like stop the strings, and see if I can create a background without it bleeding through the strings. So yeah, I did 2 lots of backgrounds. I did one in here and one in Precious Planets, but in Secrets of the Sea, obviously I did the seahorse page. And you can see I'm starting to colour this one in. I'm just using Langwell gel pens to colour it in, and I really like the colours of it so far. It's a good one just to sit down, pick away at section by section. And yeah, I like how it's progressing so far, so that one I'll just keep picking away at. You can see how twisted the book is because of the water damage. And then the other one I have is Precious Planet. So this is where I did a double page experiment. This one turned out really, really messy. So yeah, again, watercolors and the bubble mixture. This one left a lot of weird residue on the top, so it's going to be real interesting to work on top of. And because it had all that weird residue, I decided that I would just splatter more iridescent watercolor on top. So that's where all the splatter came from. My plan is there's like a patterned texture background here that's meant to represent the water. So I think I'm going to use super golden markers to actually pull out that pattern. And then for the fish themselves, I'll do them matte, and I might use paint pens to just base everything, and then my Langos to pull out the pattern details. And that way the fish will be quite matte, but there'll be a lot of shine and sparkly in the background. I may even put Mod Podge Extreme Glitter on the background as well and make it really glittery, which could be really fun as well. So yeah, but that's all things that I'll decide. This one's just looking like a chaotic mess at the moment, but it's very much the ugly stage, and I can see it changing. Just got to trust the process. Then the other one that I'm doing in here is the Parrots, and you can see how close this is to being finished. I'm very, very close. So this one, I just used a watercolor background, a little bit of iridescent watercolor to add in a little bit of shine, and then I've just used Lango gel pens to color it in. And I did take inspiration from the actual Parrots colors, and I'm really pleased with it so far. So this is what we're going to work on today because it's so close to being done. Here's Shadow to cause problems. He's already stepped on this book and caused staining on this book as well. And look, there's his cat fur there. Oh, you're a troublemaker. Let me deal with him, and then we will come back and we will catch up about the week, and you'll see why it's just been such a chaotic week. Okay, I think he's dealt with. We'll see. We'll see. All right, let's get a colouring in here. So there's no rhyme or reason to which colours I choose. I just randomly pick a colour, and then that is what goes in. So I hope you're all doing well out there. I hope you're all having a fabulous week since we last caught up. And I hope your colouring's going well and you've got lots and lots of progress done on whatever you happen to be working on. But yeah, it's been a bit of a chaotic week, to say the least. We had some family arrive in from out of town because another family member's 40th was this weekend. So we had some family down, which always results in a lot more socialization and activities. But the 40th was lovely. It was a really, really good place to go to. Lots of yummy food. Oh my gosh, I ate so much food. And yeah, it was a really good time, but unfortunately, we suspect we might be getting sick. Both myself and my mum are my mum is quite unwell. In fact, we're going to the doctor later on today. And I've got a cold that is threatening to try and come through. And I am doing everything to stop this cold, because another reason this week has been so chaotic is I have got pre-op appointments because I've got surgery next week. So yeah, that's jumping ahead. So that was Friday, family member came down. Saturday we had the 40th. Sunday we had another family event, so we went to a little housewarming afternoon tea that my brother and sister-in-law hosted for their new house, and that was also really lovely as well. Their new house is really lovely and warm and such a good spot. So yeah, went to that as well. And then what else do we do? Monday, then we went op shopping with the family from out of town. I found a kit that includes the frame for making your own paper, so that was really cool, and I've got an idea that I really want to get onto with that for making some paper. But yeah, it includes the press and all that sort of stuff, so I do want to start. I've got a plan. I just need time to do it. But yeah, so paper maker, and then after that we went and saw another family member before the family member that was visiting had to fly home. So that was Monday. And then Tuesday was my pre-op appointment. So yeah, I think that went really well. that was the like surgical op appointment, so that went a-okay. And then I've still got one more appointment, which is this Friday, which is the anesthesia appointment. And that's like the last hurdle, and then once that gives the a-okay, we're going ahead. But yeah, that was yesterday. And then today we were meant to have all these things, and we just kind of cancelled them because Mum and I are like, we're so done. But as I said, Mum's not well, and so we now have a doctor's appointment to go to. That's not till later on this afternoon. I am fighting to get rid of this cold because I am refusing to let this take hold. I have eaten 8 lemons because I've been drinking so much lemon and honey over the last couple of days to try and fight it off, because if I do develop into a full cold, my surgery is going to be postponed. So yeah, I've got till Monday to shake it. So I'm doing my absolute best to shake this cold off as much as I can. But yeah, unfortunately, when we went to the 40th, there were some people who were sick, but also just going out in general. Mum and I don't go out a lot, so yeah, it's not great. So yeah, fingers crossed for shaking this cold as quickly as possible. I refuse to get sick. I refuse for the surgery to get delayed. But yeah, that's today's plan. And then tomorrow we have another event to go out to because there's another friend's birthday. So we've got that. And then, as I said, Friday is the anesthetic appointment. And then Saturday, I think we have a breather. I think Saturday is our next. We've got nothing on day. And then, yeah, Sunday I have Pathfinder. And then we head back to Monday and the start of a new week. And it's like, whoa, okay, this is a very busy week for me. And I'm usually someone who doesn't have a lot on. So yeah, it's a lot. But I think because it's been so chaotic, that's why I've kind of been chaotic in my colouring and just not really focusing on any one particular thing and just bouncing around a lot and trying lots of things. I've also been hanging out a lot in my Discord. There's a few people in the Discord who like to do real life, but like to do hangs. We have a chat room where you can hang out and colour, and a lot of us colour together. I end up getting so much done. So that's been happening a lot in the Discord as well, which is just so lovely. I love to see it. I love people using the space. And I jump in wherever I can. So it really means a lot to me that people are doing that, and it's just delightful to hang out and colour and chat with people. It's a bit hard when you don't feel particularly well or feel like chatting, but yeah, really, really love seeing everyone use the space. So yeah, I plan to go and actually hang out in there possibly after this, maybe, though we'll see how we feel. Might see if anyone's streaming as well. Yeah, that is kind of a review of how this week has been. It has been chaos and a lot, but we're doing good. One good thing is mentally I feel like I'm doing pretty darn good. And I was talking before, so if you keep up to date, I'm in the middle of getting a whole bunch of hospital procedures done. Just had a hernia repaired. I'm about to go and get some oral surgery next week. And then the last thing I was waiting on is a colonoscopy. Well, guess what turned up in the mail yesterday? A potential appointment card for the colonoscopy, which is exciting. So yeah, that one may be happening sooner than expected as well, which I am so grateful for. So that one is the 1st of September. So the last thing that I'll be waiting on is just my foot. But I actually have to go back to my regular GP about my foot, getting that one looked at. So yeah, but that's really exciting that maybe we'll finally have all the answers. That's what I'm hoping. Who knows? Oh, that's a lot. Anyway, medical is not a fun thing to talk about, but it is kind of dominating my life at the moment. Hopefully not everything will be. But yeah, it was a really lovely housewarming that we went to for my brother and sister-in-law, and I ended up talking a lot with them about potentially starting up a Dungeons and Dragons game, because now they've got the space to host. It's just, it's always the scheduling's always the hardest time. I was like, well, you can figure out the schedule and you invite the people, I'll run it, because I'm kind of itching to run some TTRPG again, especially in person. There's something quite magical about doing it in person. I love doing it online, but yeah, there's something about in person that's also quite lovely. So yeah, waiting to hear about that. Definitely been feeling the call to do some again. So yeah, there's no real rhyme or reason to which colours I'm choosing. I'm just kind of pulling a colour and hoping for the best. And it's just a weird mixture of browns and greys, but I think it kind of works. It's probably not quite the right colours, but it's just inspired by the actual Paradise Parrots. It's very, very close to being done as well, which is exciting. I don't know where Shadow's gone. He's been so funny lately. He's not really settling anywhere. We are getting a little concerned. He is old. He is very, very old. He's still he'll have moments where he completely plays like a kitten, and we've recently found a new flavour of food that he's going nuts for. So he's actually eating really well at the moment. So it's not like we need to race him to a vet or anything. Our concern isn't like anything like that. But there are, he usually likes to come and curl up on my bed, and he hasn't been doing that lately. He doesn't seem to like any of his beds, and he doesn't seem to want to settle anywhere except for directly on us, and he still can't settle on me because of my hernia op. So it's possible he's just looking for warmth because it's cold, but he's also quite unsettled in a way. And we were wondering, because he is old. I think he's about 15 now, so yeah. But he's fine otherwise. He's still eating, particularly when we put this new turkey flavour down. He's going absolutely nuts for it. Turns out he really likes turkey. So yeah, he's still eating like a horse. He's still drinking, and as I say, there are moments where he just plays like an absolute kitten. So there's moments he's fine. He's just being really funny at other times, but he's possibly just really, really cold. Which I get, because I also get really, really cold, and all I want to do is bunker down when I get cold, so apologies. I'm trying to avoid sniffling. Again, this cold is threatening to exist. I'm not letting it. I've had so much lemon and honey, and I don't like honey. I'm not a fan of honey, and even I've been making myself eat honey and have lemon and honey just to get the good antibodies into me, because I'm not antibodies, but to get the goodness into me, because it's I need to shake it. I could tell on Sunday night because my throat was so sore. I could tell that something was trying to make its way in, but wasn't going to let it. All right, we're going to do this one dark too, and then we have a nice dark area here, although it will dry down. I know right now it looks very one color around here, but it will dry down and change to slightly different tones, which is one of the good things about these pens, is that they do dry down. Honestly, I'm going to have to get another set because I've used already so much of these Languels. I'm using the Languels acrylic 0.6mm pens. I have a 99 set. Yeah, I do regret just buying the 99 set. I should have brought the big set, but it's like, oh, I'll be sensible, just buy a small set to try. And yeah, I absolutely love them. I love them for colouring in Millie. I found them really, really good, and it's just nice to sit here and pick away at Millie Marotta. It just works really well. Yeah, I'm still absolutely obsessed. Um, Actually, I need to remember to message someone because I found a copy locally of one of the Millie books that I'm missing. So, and I was meant to message. Whoops. It's on Facebook Marketplace. It's okay. It happens. Yeah, I do. I am very much looking forward to her new book at the I think it's Tiny Animal Kingdom, I think it's called. So it's like Animal Kingdom, but instead of Animal Kingdom, it's Tiny Animal Kingdom, and it's all little creatures. So there's probably going to be a lot of bugs. But yeah, I'm still absolutely on my Millie kick, so I will look forward to getting that one when it comes out. That one won't be a hard one for me to find though, because the local bookstore here does stock Millie. It's been a while since I've been down there. Should maybe one day have a trip down into town and go see what they've got there. Something fun about going and actually looking at books in person. There's very few places locally I can do that. We have a bookstore called Whitcoulls, and that's primarily where I go and have a look at the colouring books. They have a very limited range here, but at least it's some that I can go and have a look at in person. And yeah. Oh, that was silly because all three of those connect, but okay. What happens when you just go ahead and randomly place colours and don't really think too much about it, and then you end up with side-by-side sections. Whoops. I might need to... So, unfortunately, with the language, you can't work back over them, but if you've missed areas, I find I can sort of dot in, and that will cover up those areas that I've missed. And so that's how I kind of fix that. Normally I wouldn't worry too much, but with the dark it's really obvious, so just need to fix that up. Alright. I also need the grey because I need to colour in this one here, and then the rest of it can be this last colour. Last colour. Yeah, it feels like colouring almost colour by numbers, except the colours aren't there for you. That's the only way I can kind of equate these. I imagine it's similar to colouring colour by numbers because you just colour in section by section. So this is scratching the itch for me for those Hatchet Hero colour by number books, because I don't have any, and I would love one day to get my hands on one of them, but for now this is filling the job. And I do love how they look when they're all done too. Like, I don't know, something about it just, yeah, the acrylic gel pens, they just look really nice once they're all coloured in. Me just going into hyper focus mode. Okay, and there we go. That is that page. All done. Oh, I love it. I'm actually really happy with how that turned out. I really like the colours of it. I really like the little bit of gold that sparkles through. I think that looks pretty cool. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this What You're Working On Wednesday. Once again, I asked you, what are you working on? I'd love to hear from you down below to let me know what your current whips are, what you're currently working on. I wish you the best of weeks. May it be productive, may it be satisfying, may it be everything that you need. Restful, peaceful, joyful, all the araha to you all. Take care. Tēnā koutou, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!